horse. There are a lot of things you can get at the dollar store. There are a lot of things that you have around your farm already, like feed sacks or feed bags, or you can have tarps, or you can use old blankets and rain jackets and stuff like that. And I've just set them up in the barrel here, and you'll notice that I rode up and I did not let my horse come up and touch it. And it's not that she's a deadhead and she's totally unaware. You can see she's looking around. You know, she's a young 3-year-old horse, and she's alert and she's aware, but I've trained her not to look and not to touch things that potentially could be bothersome. So I want to teach you guys the all-around game. And the all-around game means that we're going to put things all around you, but you're not allowed to look, you're not allowed to touch, and instead you just have to trust me. So this goes against the grain of a lot of conventional wisdom out there, and a lot of common things that I hear all the time is go take your horse up and let them touch it. The problem with that is there are going to be things that your horse cannot touch. For example, when you ride into the crowd at the competition, your horse isn't going to be able to go up and touch the people in the audience. Or let's say you want to take your horse on a trail ride, or you're going fox hunting and a flock of wild turkeys flies up out of the bushes. You can't take your horse over to go and touch the turkeys. That's not going to happen. If you do try that, please put it on YouTube and tag me in it, because I definitely want to see it. But sometimes it's not going to be practical for your horse to go up and touch the various things. So instead, we need to have our horse understanding that don't touch, don't look, just trust me that it's going to be okay. So I'm not saying that you should never let your horse touch things, because touching things is also very important for going on bridges or going into trailers and practical solutions like that. So we need to balance these games of touch it and the all-around game. And I find a lot of people play touch it, but they don't play the all-around game, which is why I'm focusing on it in this video. So it's super ridiculously simple to do. Very easy. All you're simply going to do is either ride your horse, or if you're on the ground, lead your horse up, so that way their shoulder is beside the object. So right now I'm a couple feet away from the object. If my horse was truly terrified, I could be further away, and obviously she doesn't care, so I could have her be closer to it and it would be totally fine. But the idea is you want to bring your horse up to whatever is reasonable for your horse, that threshold, and then we're going to say yes and offer a reward. You don't have to use the word yes, you can use a different word, but I like to have a marker word that means that you've done a good job, you can expect a reward, and it elicits this endorphin happy feeling. So when my horse sees things like this, she doesn't even think twice about it, she just thinks this is probably an opportunity to earn a cookie. You can see she's checking in to see if she can get another one. Not right now, sweetheart. So you'll stop your horse at whatever distance is comfortable for them, so even if it's a couple feet out is totally fine. It could be this distance, it could be a little bit further. Then you're going to go take your horse away, and you can decide how far you take your horse away, and then you'll come back up and you'll do it again. And you'll put don't let your horse touch it, and you're going to try to move it such that, see, now it's closer to my hip. So if my horse was okay with the shoulder area and they're okay with the knee saddle area, then you're going to try the hip area, and when your horse is totally comfortable with that, you're going to even try to put your horse's tail pointed at it. But what I want you to notice, good girl, yes, is that I did not position her to get there by making her go towards it. We were just using walking forward together and then just turning her to point her bum towards it. It's the next level of difficulty from your horse that if you are, let's say, out like this, it's the next level of difficulty to say to your horse, can you side pass or go in towards something? And first you need to make sure your horse is really good at side passing before you can do stuff like that. So step one is simply ride your horse or lead your horse so their shoulder is positioned beside it, not allowed to look, not allowed to touch. Reward. Once that's easier, line it up with your saddle, kind of mid-barrel area. Next step, their hip area. Next step, lead them up and turn them so it's their tail that's pointed at it. Reward them. Once all of those things are easy, then you can position them coming towards the object, and then you can actually pick things up, do whatever you want. Same thing is going to be that I'm going to reward my horse, whoops, for not reacting. Good girl, yes. So see, I was a little bit slow on that. She had a reaction. supposed to move. Good girl. I actually haven't done this stuff with her. I just thought I'd pull out stuff. She's generally good with a lot of things. Good girl. Yes. And then you want to make sure that you do things on both sides of your horse. So I'm going to take her out and ride up on the other side of the barrel. So she wanted to go to the other side there because that's where I came before. So I just reposition her. Notice how she didn't look at it, she didn't touch it. So I'm going to offer her a reward to reward her for that. I know that my horse is well trained for going towards things, so I'm asking her there to take that side step towards it. If you haven't gone through the other steps, you don't want to do that with your horse yet. You want to make sure you have them really confident. Plus they need to know how to go sideways. 2 things before you do stuff like that. Then you can start getting creative, knocking stuff over, whatever you want to do. But the idea is that it stays a game for your horse of, oh, I'm supposed to not react. I'm supposed to trust my human, not to overreact to these various things, and then I get rewarded. So it keeps the whole thing very fun for your horse. They're not super upset about anything. And then they become more willing to try various things. So she's done a lot of different confidence building stuff. I've never asked her to side pass a barrel before, but I thought, why don't I ask her to see if I can get another little step? Good girl, yes, 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 yes. Yes, good girl. So I use that yes word to mark that behavior that I'm really happy with, which is her going over the barrel. Then I could ask her to come off that barrel. Oh, she's even got her foot in the hula hoop, but she's not worried about it because she knows don't look, don't touch, trust mom, I'll probably get a cookie. And I can just almost pretend like I meant that to happen. And she's like, yeah, whatever, it's just one of those crazy things that my human asks me to do, and it's probably gonna be okay. So she can start to think that I almost make things happen, whether it be birds flying up out of the sky. Oh, don't go forward, good girl, that's okay. But notice how she didn't freak out because it's all been part of her training of just don't look, don't touch, trust me that it's gonna be okay, and we're gonna get rewarded. So she hasn't gone to touch that barrel or sniff that barrel. And that's gonna be important for a lot of the things that we do in life. If you guys enjoyed this virtual lesson, please follow the link in the description to go to Helping the Horses for during this pandemic to help cover the costs of having our school horses and lesson horses at the farm. So thanks for watching, guys, and check out that link.